Okay, this lesson today is going to be a continuation from the 50 by 50 cube task. We've drawn all the parts, we've done an assembly, bringing the parts together, and what we're going to do today is we're going to finish up the parts in Onshape, and we're going to add in these elements here, so the circles and the horizontal lines, as the additional parts that go on top of the box. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're just going to create a sketch on this work plane. So I'm going to just go to sketch, click this work plane and press N. Now the first cube, the first flat bit of the cube is going to be 50 by 50. That does not need to change because it's going to go on the top and the bottom of the cube. So to do that, as we know, it's pretty straightforward to do. Just draw your rectangle, type 50 into 50. Okay, and then that draws that for me. Now, for us to draw the circles, what we're going to do is we're going to use the pattern tool. So center point circle, and we're just going to roughly draw where we want to have a circle. Let's say about here. I can't remember what the original size was for the circle, but I'm just going to do it by eye. Probably let's go for 6 millimeters, round it up like that. Now the important thing with this is when we're doing this, we don't want to have we don't want it too close to the edge, because when the laser cutter cuts, we need to make sure that there's enough material between that, so it doesn't break off or it doesn't get thin. So I'm going to leave a 5 millimeter gap from here to here, like so. So that puts it at 5 millimeters. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the pattern tool. So again, that's pretty straightforward to use. Just escape to clear any tools that I may have already active. It's always good just to check everything's clear up here. Press escape, it just deactivates all the tools. What we do now is we're going to click the circle, and then we're going to click the pattern tool, and I want to have a linear pattern. And what it does is it's already pops the circles in. It says, do you want 3 across, spaced between 25 millimeters, and do you want 1 above? Now, what I do as a good habit is I tend to flick that down first, because you can forget about that one. And I'm going to increase that to 6 and press enter. And I know that's miles off at the moment because I need to adjust a few things. So I'm going to adjust the distance between here and here. It's 25 at the moment, so I'm just going to do it by, let's see if 5, that might be too tight, 5 too tight. Again, let's double it up to 10, see what happens. Okay, 10 would be about right. I've got 1 extra there. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to say, I don't want that one. I don't want 6, I want 5. Enter. Okay, and then that gets rid of that one. And now I just need to sort out the distance between the two. Okay, and with that, I'm going to, again, do the same as the one, put 10. Okay, and what I might do as well is I'm going to increase my, and half that one actually, I'm going to put 5. And wrong one. 10, let's see the one I want to change. This one, like that. And I need to think, okay, I've got 10 between there and there, 10 up and down. I've got a row of 5 going down, and I've only got 3 here. So I wonder if I can get 5 in there as well, like that. Okay. Now, what I can do here is I can okay that, and I can just double check to see if it's in the center. So if I measure from here to here, okay, it's 5. So I've got 5 either side. That's worked out perfectly for me. So 5, 5, distance there, that should be okay. And it's got enough distance all around, so when it laser cuts, that's fine. So I'm just going to click OK with that. And then what we're going to do is, just as we always do, isometric, and we're just going to pop the extrude onto there. Okay, make sure it's a new part, not adding it to the existing drawing. So do that, and then I'm going to change it to the thickness of the material, which is 3 millimeters. Click OK. So that's the part done. Now what we need to do is we're going to basically do the other piece. So let's just reference the drawing again to see that. So we've just done that piece. So it's 50 by 50 because it's the same size of the box. Now this piece here needs to be a little bit different. If we look at the measurements, we can see that it needs to be 50 across, like that, but we need to make the distance 44. That's because the material thickness is 3 millimeters here and 3 millimeters there. That's a total of 6. You take 6 away from 50, it will give you 44. So we need to account for this material thickness here and here, and this being able to just slot inside. So that's one thing you need to think about when you are creating things like this, how things butt up to each other, and how you have to do the correct sizes so things will fit in. If you don't get it right the first time, you can go in and edit the sketch afterwards. It's not a big problem, but it's good to be aware before you do it. So we're looking at 50 across by 44 high. So let's do that now. Let's go into here and let's do the same process again. So we're going to go to the sketch, click N, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rectangle tool here. Okay, I'm not using the center point rectangle because that doesn't work for this. So I want 50 across, and then press enter, and I want 44 there, press enter. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing as before, and we're going to draw a line going through here. So to do that, I'm going to get a rectangle, and we're going to just draw actually what we'll do first is we'll make it easy. We'll press Q and we'll draw a center line straight down the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it so it is half of it. Draw it roughly, like so, and then like so. And again, with Onshape, there are numerous ways to do the same thing. But what I'm doing here is I'm just drawing half of it and I'll flip it over. You could draw the whole thing, but this is an easy way to get it in the center. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the dimension tool, and I'm going to dimension the distance from here to here. Okay, I want to have that as 5, like so. Maybe not 5 actually, 5 is a bit too much. Let's go for something like 3. Okay, 3. Let's see what this is as a total distance. Again, I'm going to make it so it's a whole number, like 25. Okay, perfect. And what we're going to do there is we're just going to mirror it over. So we're going to use the mirror tool, mirror, select the line of symmetry, and let's flip that for there. Oh, I know why that's that, because that line, I don't think that's the center line. That's interesting. Okay, so let's have a look. This has lied to me. Okay, this is not the center point. So we need to just adjust that slightly. So let's have a look. So let's measure from here to here. So let's measure from here to here. Okay, definitely not the center line. Should have been more accurate there when I did my drawing. Okay, which now means we just need to adjust a few things. So let's change that to 20. Okay, and there we go. So again, you can see with Onshape, if you make mistakes, we can fix it very quickly. It's just a case of changing dimensions, being aware of things. The mistake I made there was I just put the center line in, I didn't take note of the little indicators it gives you when you highlight other lines. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the tool. Actually, what I'm going to do with this one, I think, is I might just add in a 3-point arc. Let's see if this does. Yeah, I might just do that. Okay, just as a bit of a feature, a little 2-point arc in there, and I'm going to delete that out there and there. And what I'll do is I'll just mirror that over. So let's select the line of symmetry here, and let's mirror that feature over and snip that out. Okay, so we've now got a nice sort of rounded corner now in our slot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create that as a row going down. So same thing as before. Rather than, we're going to use a linear pattern this time again. So for that, we're going to select all the geometry we need. So that piece, that piece, that piece, that piece, that piece, and that piece. Now, what it does, as you can see, is it's assumed I want to go across. So it's put me 3 across. Okay, now with that, I don't want to go across. So I take this times 3, I just change it to 1. Okay, because that now is telling me that I've only got 1, but I want to do more going down. So I'll flick the arrow going down, and I'm going to change that to, again, let's see what 6 looks like. Press enter. I've got a massive gap between them, 25. So let's change that to maybe 10. Again, a bit too much there. Let's go to 5 maybe. Okay, that's what I want. So, and again, I want to increase it now. So I've got 6, maybe 8. Okay, there we go. So that's 8 there. And we're going to click OK, like that. Right click to confirm. So now what I've noticed is that this distance between, that's 3 from there to there, but if I measure that from there to there, that's not 3. Okay, and if I do that, okay, it allows me then to recenter everything. So everything now is recentered. So 3 there, 3 there. I know that's the same distance across from there to there because I use the center line. That is nice and accurate, and we can finish that piece. Okay, so what we'll do now is we're going to, I just noticed, nope, that's a construction line, that's fine. I'm going to go to isometric, and we're going to then extrude these parts. So make sure you select all of it. Make sure it's a new part and click 3. There we go. Okay, so now if we have a look at our front, we have all the pieces that we need to construct our final assembly for our cube.